Shamberger German Motor Service. Over here at 4444 South Broadway, Inglewood, Colorado, 80113. Come to y'all again today. Today I have a 1976 Porsche 912E. Customer brought the vehicle in today because he would have an issue with his brake system. He's complaining about his vehicle. He let it sit up over the rental break for 6 months and don't drive it. And when he do get up in the summer and want to start to drive it after the winter break, he noticed that he don't have no brake fluid in the vehicle. And he inspected and he couldn't find no leaks nowhere else. So he giving me the great opportunity to work on a collector item that's this. And I very appreciate that. So what I'm going to talk to you about is that how to diagnose a brake system on one of the old vehicles when you cannot find a leak from the outside of the vehicle, tracing the lines from the brake calipers to the reservoir to the master cylinder, brake boost, and all that other stuff. So what I first did was I came over here and opened up the front, where you see that it's just his battery, spare tire, and all his components in the brake reservoir that's in here. As you notice over here on the left side of the vehicle, you got his reservoir. Then you got the lines right here. This line, which is basically the windshield wiper fluid, and then you got your brake reservoir, which is the blade fluid. Them the only two liquids that's in here. But right now, he's not having no leaks in here nowhere. So I suspect all the components, reservoirs filled right now because he filled it up and brought it to me this morning. And that's when I did all of that. And I was like, okay, that is good. So now I did a thorough inspection on it. And I went up under the bottom. Show y'all all the components. Make sure you let it up, you let the lift back down to the locking position. So as you notice that I have the tires removed from the vehicle as well. That's where I can get a thorough vision, a good vision at the brake calipers, the rotors, all the brake lines and everything without nothing being in the way. So I started from the front of the vehicle. I inspected the brake caliper all over this to make sure that there's no leaks or none of that around the vehicle or the brake caliper itself. So looking at the brake lines, trace the brake lines back to which is where the master cylinder is right here. This is the master cylinder. As you can tell, it's going to the body. It don't have no leaks, as you can see. All the brake lines coming off of it and everything. And then I went over here to the passenger side, which is the right side. Same thing. Checked all the components, looking at it, hands on, touching, make sure I don't see nothing. See if you see any wet spots inside the cylinder. Not the cylinder, but the calipers. Everything looked good. And then I went to the back and did the same thing. Checking it. Make sure you do a good thorough inspection, looking over. As you can see, the brake line. Traced it all the way back through the top. seeing where they going to, coming from the brake caliper all the way over to the left side, which is the driver's side rear. As you can tell, you don't see no wet spots or where the brake fluid could have been leaking. So after all of that, you notice when the master cylinder down here, it leads back into the vehicle. As you can see, that is connected to the body. So I went on the inside of the vehicle and did inspection around that area as well. So you gotta check all areas. So when you're doing all that, of course, you gotta lower the lift back down so you can see on the inside. It's a common rare for a lot of these vehicles during this time to have a leak and you can't tell where it's coming from. So you have to check everything. You don't see it on the outside. So as I went on the inside, I removed the components from around the accelerator pedal, brake pedal, and the clutch. Now, as you can tell down here, you're starting to see a lot of wet spots, like little shiny areas. And as you get closer, you see the master cylinder back there. In the corner right there where the light is shining at, is where the master cylinder is coming to inside the vehicle. And it's connected right there. Now you're seeing all the wet spots down there. That's the brake fluid leaking to inside the vehicle. That's why the customer could not find where his brake fluid was leaking or where he was losing it at. And it start with the brake fluid. You have to be careful and to catch this when early as you can, because brake fluid will start leaking all back here and eating up the paint off the body, and eventually will cause it to start to rusting. That's what I did to diagnose the brake system, or why the customer's losing brake fluid in this vehicle. Like I said, it's a common thing back then for them vehicles to have that issue, because they didn't have the brake boost, power brake boost back then. So that's where it leaked to inside the vehicle, how it was connected and everything. Another video coming to y'all from Schamberger German Motor Service. Stay tuned. I try to continue to post more on diagnosing how to watch and look for different signs.